You are listening to Within Tolerance, a podcast for machinists by a machinist. I'm your host, Dylan Jackson of Protean Machining, and this week I am joined live again by Zap. What is going on, man?
Oh, living the dream.
We have got a bunch of people from Patreon in the chat. What's going on? Jacob, Alex, Build and Destroy, Kevin. How is it going, guys?
Oh, we got hearts? I see hearts flying off over here. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Did I? Oh, yeah, and I actually see like people now. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So they've added some stuff. That's good.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That's very funny.
The last time we talked was actually too long ago again. So
yeah.
What's the update, man?
Well, I guess I'll get the depressing stuff out of the way, like right off the bat. Like the day after we recorded is when I found out my buddy was murdered,
Oh, yeah.
I was like right away. Which put me in like a hole, right? Like I was very depressed for a few weeks and still kind of sad or whatever, but it was, that was just like kind of out of control, and that was on the tail end of, well, I didn't talk about it in the last one, but like the whole weird family estate stuff that was going on, which is like mostly resolved, I guess. I don't owe the government $875,000, which is
always a good
pretty
thing.
Tight. Yeah, which was out of control. Which brand is that? Is that Bidwell? Or is it a different brand? Yeah. I mean, not that he could hear us, apparently. But yeah, that's been the wonky shit. It's just crazy. I mean, the 32 years old is too young to die, and you got the fancy coffee there?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, damn.
I gotta stay awake somehow.
Dude, you didn't even fucking show the camera?
I didn't do a good job this time. I was
you're like
a rush trying to get here.
Yeah. You're like, let's get here 15 minutes early, and I was like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
how about
no.
2 minutes early?
Yeah, how about fuck you? I was like, oh, all right. Outside of that, I mean, things have been going pretty good, like business-wise, We're really kind of catching stride with now that like CritLink's in like full effect and everything, and so we're doing probably our like biggest project this year, like but actually probably both years, like this year and last year, probably our biggest project, where it's like 8-part turnkey where we're making a bunch of fixtures and whatever else, and it's super dope to be able to Charles designs the fixtures and programs them, and then Doug and Charles kind of collaborate on the fixtures, and then Doug programs the parts, and then I'm doing nothing until it's ready to go, until everything shows up here in Massachusetts, and then I just install everything and get it popping, which is like sweet. And we're mostly, I think we're like on schedule. It's probably the best project we've had going in like a while, for the scale of it too, Do you
attribute that to CritLink making you like a little more
there's two, I'd say two things there, which is yes, CritLink, also having Charles in Boise. Like the last time we recorded was like the last time I was in Boise, basically. I haven't been back in like months. I've been on the East Coast like mostly, and then like popped into like Arizona, Utah, Dallas, whatever. But like I've been really hardcore on the East Coast, which has been awesome. And like it's been like the new system and everything has allowed me to do other things, kind of like, well, like primarily kinematic sauce, which is going pretty fucking well, I would say, all things considered. Like over the weekend, somebody bought it. Like I helped them. They were like trying to run it, and their probe was, I sent you the video where it was like way off, and I was like, something's fucked up here. Like your shit's fucked up. This isn't on us, it's on you. Which is like very funny, but he ran it and then he bought it like right there. Just on the website.
The second one you had that have done it themselves, right?
No, Ty Neff did it himself. Brad at Revolut Machine did it himself, and then this guy did it himself also.
Okay, so 3 now.
Yeah.
All UMCs?
Yes, all UMCs.
Awesome.
There's like a certain company with a lot of brothers that's going to be testing it out and possibly getting it as well, which will be very exciting. We did sign we got Selway signed up as a distributor, which is cool. So they're going to sell it with UMCs or try to sell it with UMCs. Like we didn't go super hard. It's not like we guaranteed it on every machine, but I think one of their customers is going to buy 2 licenses of it because they're buying a new UMC. They'll put the 2 licenses of it into the financing, and then we'll probably do the other 8 fucking 5-axis machines that they have as well, which is good. That's good money for us. Like it works really well. It's pretty fascinating, honestly. Like we've gotten like some people that aren't into it because like we're cutting, you know, and like people really like to use the ball, and it's like oh god, like but how does this and how does this? It's like, well, we use the ball like Easy 5 or MRZP or whatever, and like then we cut and then probe and then up and put it into our website, and it gets better. So like whatever we're doing fucking works. Like I really enjoy when people are like, well, it can't. It's like, but it does. Like factually it does. Like parts get better. Like we got the fucking UMC to 0.2 deviation, which is insane. Like 5 microns. Like come on, man. And like we got a machine that wasn't even level at Selway from like 3 thou and 0.2 to 0.8 deviation, like sub 1 thou deviation on a UMC that's just like on a UMC 750 that's just like hanging out, you know?
Right.
Like that's pretty decent. I did a little bit of work on we obviously keep working on it, you know, like updating the macros so they're a little more robust and things like that. We are going to, like, all that being said, people are fucking obsessed with the ball. So we're going to develop a version that uses the ball. And it's like, you still got to fucking cut to verify that it's good. But sure, if you want to do it on the ball and then cut something, fine. I don't really understand it. But like, that's it, you know?
Any testing on trunnion machines, Alex asks? VF2s with trunnions?
No, we haven't gotten there yet. My assumption, though, like we know generally the math behind it. Like they do, like I don't know if I explained this on the last episode or not, but like Haas has like 10 parameters for kinematic center, and 4 of them are for the UMC and 6 of them are for trunnion machines, which is fucking bizarre. So like the first 4, like 254, 255, 256, 257 are UMC, which is, and it's hilarious because if you go to Haas's website, it tells you, like, they have a procedure for finding the center of rotation. And it's like, yeah, you cut this, you check this, you do whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you adjust these values, and it totally skips the setting 254, which is the intersection value. And if that number isn't right, it's never going to be correct. Like, you will get close. But it just like will never get like drive down far enough. It's insane. And then they have what they have called the master slave situation, which is essentially like tilt and rotary, or rotary and tilt. I think it's tilt and rotary. On Brothers, it's tilt and rotary. But you have XYZ center for the master axis, and then XYZ center for the slave axis. But you only use 2 of any of those depending on the axis configuration. So you'll go, yeah, it's tilt. Tilt is master. So you only have like YZ or XZ there because you're either in X or in Y. Right. And then for the slave, you'll have XY pretty much always, unless like you have some weird configuration where you're rotation isn't the C-axis for whatever reason, but more than likely it's going to be XY. And like, so that math is very similar to what the Brother is, because that's just how the Brother works. So we have the Haas shit pretty dialed. We have the Brother shit pretty dialed. The trunnion stuff, we just need to get on a machine and do it. That's kind of what's holding us up there. We haven't released anything that hasn't been like very well tested, you know?
Right.
Like we slow rolled it a little bit, but it's like really, really dialed for Haas, really dialed for Brother, and for Fanic machines. Whoa,
That's cool.
that's crazy. Who did that? How did that happen? Oh, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Playing with it.
Yeah.
So we can put your questions up if you're
Yeah.
in chat while we talk about them. Very
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do, Jacob. I'm gonna put you up on stream. See?
Damn. Oh shit.
What are you gonna do now?
Yeah. Fucking clip it, bitch. Yeah, so not quite there, but it's a lot of fun. It's like we have some other like distribution stuff in the works that are a little bit bigger potentially. But we'll see. We will see. I'm
awesome.
super stoked. Yeah, it's been
What part of IMTS
dude, I just want
most excited about?
to hanging out with my friends. Like that's really it. I mean, we did find places to podcast.
A few
Like,
places now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks
so
to
I
everybody
think
who's gonna let us podcast.
yeah, I think we'll do like a rotation probably. Just like I think
like
that's
What?
fun.
Datron, Matsura.
Shunk and Rigo Fix.
Yeah. So we've got a bunch of places that we're gonna bounce around.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for the Within Tolerance Kern meetup Wednesday
Yes.
3.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually said it on here. I said it on Taps and Patience. I posted it on Instagram, but
You were on Taps and Patience? When was that?
for like 10 seconds.
Oh.
Jacob had me record a little thing to plug in their episode when they were talking about it. It was funny.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked on that. It's always a good time. I was really excited when Tony from Kern reached out and said, like, hey, you want to do it again? And I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that was a fucking blast.
Yeah, but really, I'm most excited about seeing everybody hanging out, getting to network. Yeah, it is at 3, not at 2, and it's at the Kern booth. Thanks, Alex.
Hey, I mean, you could show up at 2. It might just be a little early.
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of people there, but yeah, you can show up at whenever you want.
Yeah.
Super stoked on that. And then I've got a few. I think this year I'm looking for like little stuff. Like it's all of the little stuff that I'm realizing adds up to a lot of time savings. So I'm looking for more. The MyJet is a really good example of like something that I'm looking for. Like I saw those. I think it was 2016 when I first saw those,
Yeah.
and then we bought them this year. And I was like,
Right.
oh, this is a super big, time saver and prevents like cleaning up a bunch of stuff. And so it's all those little stuff that I'm really looking forward to walking around for.
Isn't it so wild too? Like when you're like kind of getting going, that something like the MyJet where you're like, that's like a fucking $1,000. Why the fuck would I spend that much money on this thing? And then you make more money, and as you go, you're like, well, of course I'm going to spend $1,000 on that because I couldn't build something better for $1,000. Like, no way.
I specifically remember walking away from their booth. After
Yeah.
we found out the price, and Brad and I looked at each other, and there was like, "There's no fucking way we'll ever buy that.
Yeah.
Absolutely no way because it's so expensive." And now it's like, okay, how do I budget so that every machine has one?
Yeah.
It's, 6 or 8 months.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's a cool one. Like the first time I like really saw them was at a medical company here in Plymouth. That they ran one on every single machine. They were running oil too, so it makes a little more sense. Because they would just like drop their parts in there and let them drain, and then blow them off. But like every single fucking machine had one, and it's like, damn, that's like a fuckload of money. But
yeah.
it makes everybody's life way better and
We
prevents.
added a second to the saw, and that's been such a big help because everything
Yeah.
came off so gross. The coolant
Yeah.
in the saw gets nasty so quickly.
Right.
And so it was always just so gross bringing like dripping parts
Yeah.
your arms over to the machines. And it's like, oh, no, just blow them off real quick. And then they're
Yeah.
stamp them and then bring them over to the machine.
Do you dump parts directly into it?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's too high to like feed into it.
Yeah. Just Kobe.
Yeah, maybe I'll just lower the legs though a little bit. That would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Toolpath.
Oh yeah, so there's Jacob, thank you for reminding us. There's the Toolpath pre-meetup. It's what, the 9th?
Yeah. The Wednesday before.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
I mean, I can't go. I can't make it out there, but
Wednesday at 5.
he doesn't have it on his Instagram. It's only on Toolpaths.
He like casually mentioned it when we were talking this weekend. It's like, okay.
Thanks, Jacob. Yeah, so there's a pre-meetup in Ohio at Toolpath, 5 to 9 p.m. Wednesday, September 9th. Okay, thanks, Alex.
Damn,
And
chat is clutch.
yeah. Oh, there you go, Jacob. Yeah, so Monday, 2 p.m. at the G28 booth for Jamie's, the Little Machinist one, and then Tuesday at 2 for the Taps and Patience one. And that's also at the G28 booth, I guess.
Yeah, which is in the West Hall, I guess.
Tormach. There we go.
Tormach.
Okay, so Tuesday
that's
at
cool.
2 at Tormach is for the Taps and Patience one.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. And then the other events that I know about so far is, I think, Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Matsura drinks and something at their booth.
Yeah, that's funny.
find it right
I hope AJ talked to Tormac in advance. Probably not, TBH, but we'll see.
Yeah. Tuesday, September 15th, 6 to 8 at the Matsura booth. They're doing an exclusive happy hour. I mean, it's not exclusive. It was on their Instagram, but
Yeah,
that's drinks and coffee and whatever food. So that's
Nice.
one. And then I'm
Yeah.
sure there's going to be a million other meetups
Yeah.
and stuff.
I'm about to meet Katsu this week on Thursday.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, he's going to be at a Mugi. And I was
It's
like,
a
oh,
riot. Like
Yeah.
I've never been on the Matsura cruise during the, I
Right.
think it's usually the Tuesday or the Wednesday. It's Wednesday usually, like 5 to something.
Mm-hmm.
But he always sings karaoke.
oh,
And I've seen videos like Titakin has sent me clips.
Yeah.
And it just seems like such a riot.
yeah. Fuck yeah.
So,
Oh, speaking of Justin, I spent like a pretty decent amount of time in Cleveland over the last like couple months just for a project we were doing out there and to kind of just hang out. And like there was one time he left. I drove over there from Massachusetts and I was tired, so I pulled a sleeping bag out of my car and I took a nap. And I completely forgot about it. Like I didn't pack it back up or anything. And like a couple days ago, he's like, "Hey, did you leave a sleeping bag and a hoodie here? Like, what is this?" It's like, "Oh yeah, that's mine." He's like, "Oh, thank God." I was like, oh. Like thought somebody had like broke in and
been sleeping in his
been
house.
sleeping in there. Yeah,
Well, I think that was the time too that you sent me and him pictures from inside his house, right?
maybe.
Looking out
Yeah,
his front window or something.
yeah, yes, yeah. Patiently waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you've also been traveling a crazy amount. Like you kind of dropped
Yes.
the lead because you have been back and forth between the coasts, I think more than I've ever seen.
yeah. That's true. It is bizarre because I've been in. Like, I feel like I've been more stationary in Boston than I have been in, like, basically the entirety of ZC. But I also have been traveling so fucking much that it's out of control. And it's like 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days. That was like, oh my God, it's fucking killing me. That's why when I went to California, I, like, hung out for a little bit. Though, of course, on Sunday, the day that I was flying out, I drove 4 hours to have lunch with Phil at Sencut Send, and then drove 4 hours back, and then and then I went to the airport after that. But you know, things you do for
you sent me a
friends.
picture of you too, and I was like, "Is that Phil?" Because you were not anywhere near Reno last time we spoke.
Well, I mean, I like hanging out with Phil. Like, it's a good time. Like, it's the stuff that they're doing now is like so out of control. I mean, I didn't hang out with him at Senkutsen, but like, every time I've driven through Reno recently, he wasn't there, and like, we didn't really get to catch up at the summit at all, and especially because he's now promoted to VP of like all of manufacturing. Like
Right.
instead of just like over what they call Reno 2, which is the machine shop, he's over everything. And it's like, how is that? And it's like, it's pretty good. Like there's a lot of shit going on. And they just hired our boy, Tim Paul, which is cool. They have 20 fucking programmers right now, which is pretty wild and like fully remote. Crazy.
Well, they have how many machines now?
41 brothers, 4 Matsuras, and
And the UMC?
3 Haas's.
Oh, really?
One UMC and like a couple of AF2s, something like that. Like,
That's insane.
I got to ask him, the question I really wanted to ask him and see his reaction was like, how does it feel to affect the global supply of RigoFix tools? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's really interesting because they won't do anything to help us like to make more. It's like,
Right.
no, of course not. They're Swiss. Like,
Well, that and I think they're currently in the middle of changing. They were like building a new building to do call it production. So
I see.
all of their production was affected because they moved everybody out of that building or something like that. I can't remember the specifics, but he basically told me when I was there, 2 or 3 months ago, he was like, yeah, hope that all of the call outs you want are in stock for like the next month or two. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
wow.
Great.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I think they've probably gotten past it now because I haven't had any issues, but yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with Senkutsen buying everything else.
Yeah, between them and Hadrian. But, the Hadrian problem's only going to get better because they just raised $1.4 billion, which is pretty cool.
At some point, I just wonder, at what point do they just say, like, fuck it, and they buy Technics or something and say, we're just going to spin up our own line of PG clones
I could
for
see
our
them,
shop?
the most reasonable one would probably be Maritool because they're already doing it,
Right. Yeah.
I could see they are getting to that point of, we need to make like buying. I mean, Chris has talked about this since the very, very beginning. This isn't like a new thing. I mean, even fucking Bolosek talks about this with like, you scale to a point where it's like, well, we can no longer afford to, people can't scale with us. So we need to make our own tool holders, make our own tools, make our own fucking machines or whatever. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It gets pretty gnarly.
Yeah. At what point does Chris just say fuck it and buy $200 million worth of carbide?
Yeah.
Like just like raw materials to have on hand.
Dude, the thing that I saw, Kippen sent it to me, was like
New
they have like
sourcing stuff.
like the $360 million of like revolving credit with JP Morgan or something like that, which was just like, what?
Yeah.
What is this?
No, I was talking about, did you see the new carbide sourcing stuff that just got signed into law? That's going to really screw stuff up next year.
Yes. Actually, when Justin and I, when we went to California, we went and got to tour Destiny, which was funny because the email that you sent them was like printed out on his desk, right there. But yeah, we found out about it from them because of, they're informing all their customers, and because they're small.
Well,
and
they sent out an email that said like, hey, we already don't source from China or Russia. Because for anybody who's listening, I don't know the exact specs of what's going on, but they signed into law something that by 2027, you can't buy raw carbide material from China or Russia or a few other
It's
countries?
China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea.
Right.
I think it's just
China
those four.
creates 80%
Like all of it.
of the tungsten.
I mean, more than it's gonna be. My assumption is it will be like when the U.S. was building the like SR-71, where they start setting up like it has to be U.S. sourced Inconel or whatever, so they start setting up shell corporations to like source it from somewhere else to bring it in or something. But like,
what's dumb about it is the last I saw, it prevents raw materials, but says nothing about finished carbide tooling.
well, or the
So you can
blanks,
just
right?
buy end mills from China,
Right.
but you can't buy carbide from China. It's like
Gorilla Mill uses Sandvik blanks. So if Sandvik sources the shit and then you buy the blank from them, Amugi and I want to say Destiny use Ceratizit blanks or whatever. So like it seems like that will be fine.
Right.
Where how they get it sourced is a different story, you know.
well, and as long as they're out of the U.S. and sourcing it from
Yeah,
wherever, it doesn't
where it's like it's I think it's one of those things that like could be pretty gnarly, but I think it'll only really in the US, I think it's only gonna hit Kennametal hard. Because Kennametal actually produce like they sinter here in the like in Pittsburgh. Or around Pittsburgh or whatever. I think they're the only ones actually sintering in the U.S. as far as I know. Somebody might know something else, but I think like most everybody else is sourcing blanks from somebody else. There's only like a handful of companies that actually make blanks, you know, and hardly any. Like I think it's Sandvik, Ceratizit, Kennametal, and Iskar, and maybe somebody else. Like I mean, obviously China.
right.
but-
right.
Whatever. It's
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
yeah.
I mean, my guess is that it'll blow up and it'll be like CMMC level 2, where they're like, oh, this is just unsustainable. We're going to walk this back.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we really need it to be dialed in, but at the same time, we need parts more than we need you to be like good little boys. And it's like, okay, yeah, we can do that.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Any other updates?
I mean, there's probably a lot more shit, but we've just kind of been. I got to do work with Ren Scott. That was interesting. You know.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
That was pretty good on that Mill X or whatever, which is like an incredibly fast machine. But it's and like it was like a weird 3D printed part. That was it was fun. It was cool. That was
that they have a full metal 3D printer division in Ren Scott.
that is their like whole thing, you know, is that's what they're going for. The metal 3D printing stuff is nutty. I was surprised. It's pretty decent fidelity and it cut really nice. And it was
Really?
like, yeah, it was, we were using like, it was titanium and we were using really small tools, like 0.6 millimeter drill and like 0.6 millimeter end mills. And like I had some issues early on or with our thread mill was breaking, but that was because the drill was the wrong size. And that took me a little while. And the laser on the machine was fucked up and saying the tool was like half the size of what it was. So it was like really comping it out. So once we got past that, like we ran a fuckload of those things and had like zero issues whatsoever. The one I did want to, what Alex was saying about I feel like that would change your ability to ever run a small shop again. We did work for a private equity company in December that were a bunch of former Honeywell guys, like the smallest organization that they worked in did $500 million in revenue, you know? And now they're like boots on the ground directly involved in the floor. And I've never seen anybody so ineffective before. Like there is no ability to read the room in that they will call you into a fucking conference room and like me into like I'm supposed to be doing stuff, and they're like, well, we need to plan like day after day after day for like hours and hours and hours, and they're like, why isn't anything getting done? It's like, all we're doing is fucking talking about shit, man. Like this isn't that crazy. Like, it's like, we just need to do stuff. And like after us, they didn't like the answers we gave them, so they hired somebody else, and then they didn't like how that worked, so they were hiring somebody else or whatever. It's like they're just like looking for somebody to give them the answer, which was they wanted to improve the shop without spending any money at all. Like, and it's like, this, your shop sucks. You're using Esprit Edge, like, which is fine, but it's not the easiest software to pick up. Like, if you've never used it before, it's just, it totally is like, they can, like, there are people out there that can like go up and down, but like not really.
Yeah. So Christian said big companies love their meetings. Meanwhile, you could have tried all the things discussed in the meantime. I think that that shop was when you started having the idea for the Just Fucking Cut shirt.
Yes.
You'd had the idea.
Yes.
That phrase for a while, but that was like the one that really solidified it.
Yeah.
And Alex says he worries even about running the college shop. He doesn't have a big budget, but he doesn't see the money, so he doesn't know, you know, if and when he's going to get his own machine. I think that until your payroll is more than most shops' revenue, you're probably not going to have an issue getting your machine.
Yeah.
Like here, even what some of the medium-sized shop payrolls are, just gives me a heart palpitations.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Like, I think about this myself, right? Oh, could I scale back, like, if I wanted to? And the answer is kind of like, no. You know, we've just kind of like gotten to a size that without like dramatically, like, I mean, obviously if I was scaling back, it would be much different, but we have like so much overhead just from like the shop, the apartment, like payroll, whatever. Like, we have to make, I think it's like 10 grand a week or something like that to break even. Or like to make like a little bit of money is like our burn or whatever. Which is like, honestly, it's like 50, that's like selling like 50 hours. It's not that out of control. Today, somebody just bought 25 hours on the website, and I was like, Michael, who is this? Like, and we're like, we didn't know. We had to like Google who it was to see that it was like, oh, like this is somebody that we had engaged with. And they like just went onto the website and were like, bye. Like, oh, sick, cool. That's awesome. That's moving forward. Yeah, it is fascinating. Like, where you guys are at, even, you couldn't go backwards. At a certain point, you can't go back. Like, I mean, you can, but it's just like, you can't maintain the same business you have without, and go backwards at the same time. It's just like not really possible.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. When was the last time we spoke?
It was like months ago. Like, I mean,
I think the thing that happened right after we recorded is I took my first quote unquote production job for the Flex.
Right.
It was like 100 pieces of these aluminum parts. That went pretty well, but it just re-emphasized that I don't like production, and I'm not going to take it on unless I really need the work, or if like the machine is really slow. Because I think the machine ran for 65 or 70 hours straight.
Yeah.
And like 20 hours in, I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
I would like to be done now.
I think this, I have to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I think this is like really fascinating because there are people who would consider 100 parts as prototypes, you know? And I think it's very fascinating. I've been like, I think I've floated this on here before, and I've talked to Graham about this, and I like, whatever, is that like production is like so relative. There's no like, once we hit this number, then it is production, because like that is just for you when you're doing like 1Z, 2Z and a lot is like 10 or 20, then yeah, like production is 100. But there are companies who, like Swiss companies, that if it's 1,000 or under, that might as well be prototype work.
Right.
You know, it's like,
Yeah, for me, it's like 10 to 100 times more of a single part than I normally do. So Christian asked, do you not like production because it becomes mundane or because it will not be a recurring production job? Because
a really
it's
good question.
so boring to me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got 20 hours in and optimized the cycle as much as I could. And I was like, this is cool. And then I was just bored and had opportunities to put better paying jobs on the machine and just had to sit there and run it. I was like, this is a waste of my time.
Why couldn't you bust in?
Because I was using all the pallets nonstop for 70 hours or whatever.
Oh, what a bummer. Like, if you could do it again, would you do it? Would you break into it? You know, or like, would you give your?
I had to do that to hit the ship deadline.
Yeah. Well, that was my follow up, is like, if you extended it by like 2 days, which sometimes isn't your call, obviously.
Right.
But like allowing you to slow down the main production job, but like use it to get into it or whatever would be like, is that something you've considered, or like, how do you factor that in as you, because obviously we've had some discussions, mostly in the group chat about, and wherever else, about how like the flex has caused you to take on a lot of work, and do some things to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It turns out that it has made me very bad at quoting again.
Yeah.
Not that I was excellent at it before the flex, but I at least understood the constraints a little better. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not at a position right now, at least with our current workload, where I want to do that kind of production again. It just doesn't make any sense. I need that extra spindle time. Like, I'd rather, we probably run that machine 60 to 80 hours a week.
That's pretty good.
Consistently since
like 50%. That's nice.
Yeah. If not even a little more. Like, there's been some weeks that it's probably run 100 hours or more, but I need that little bit of extra bandwidth,
right?
Especially since I only have one of them.
Yeah.
So
for now,
for now. Alex, you asked about, am I keeping up with not running Fusion code on the Flex? So actually, this brings up a good aside. Some of you came through now the Within Tolerance podcast Discord, and I spun the Discord up because I think I talked about it on the podcast maybe a year ago, that I wanted to do like a podcast bot that you could ask questions of. And finally this last week, and I was like, I got a little bit of time, and sorted it all out. And so now it's on the Within Tolerance Discord. You can ask it questions and it synthesizes some answers. But one of them that was asked was about Hypermill and the current intent and how I'm feeling about it. And it went through and was like, well, there just hasn't been that much talk about it. And it's because I haven't been using it. I don't think I've used Hypermill since before April, maybe February. I've been running just Fusion code on the Flex since then. I've done a lot of optimization of our templates and stuff in there. It's been working pretty well, which is great. Kevin from Hypermill was really gracious about it and was like, hey, I understand it's not working out. Like, you don't have the time to dedicate to learning it. We are here to help you whenever, but like, let's just put things on pause for right now. And like, I still will like 100% maintain they have the best service in the industry of any CAM system out there. There's not a single person or not a single company you can point to that has better service than OpenMind.
Yeah.
Any kind of tech support plus the people selling it, they're just the best.
Not DSI. Come on, man.
Not DSI, not next gen, not like literally, I've never spoken to any organization that from top to bottom they are just like so customer focused.
Yeah.
And I would love impressive to use it more because of that. Because, when something goes wrong with Fusion, I can go like yell at the cab, and I'm lucky enough to have that opportunity. But even then, the answer might not be what I want. Whereas like with Hypermill, they're like, you know what, we will find you a workaround, like a personalized workaround at minimum, if not show you how to do it correctly. But yeah, it's been basically 100% Fusion code. And at this point, I'm fairly confident. I mean, I've sent 3 or 4 separate part numbers overnight without proving them out. 2 on one pallet, 2 on another, and just sent it and come back to good parts in the morning. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Your issues that you've had were not related to the code. You had some hacks stuff happen.
Yes, I found some very interesting, turns out not bugs in the Hermla automation software. It's kind of a lot to go into without showing rather than telling. Like there's a lot of levels in hacks of like, you create a work plan, which is where you assign the program, and then you create an order, which assigns the work plan to a pallet. And I thought and was taught you're not supposed to be able to run a job without a valid order. And it turns out that that's not quite the case, and that you can send a pallet with just a work plan, and the whole thing was a mess. Thankfully, it only broke an end mill and didn't break anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a big surprise. I'll say that. Yeah, Jacob Fusion simulation. I'm using Machine Sim. I have that all built out for the Flex. I have all of the work holding, my pallet riser, my pallet cover, everything in there. I can use replace component to change to all my vices and stuff, and I trust it for sure. It runs great.
Yeah. It's good. Since the announcement that Camplete is dead, I've been spending a lot more time getting, like for Fusion especially, getting like the Matsura post really dialed in, like how we had it for Camplete, like just doing that exact same thing in Fusion. And it works pretty good. There's Eureka, which people talk about, like which is good, apparently, but like, Eddie was saying he used it, but like it's so new that they're like building all the machines from scratch, like right now. And so you have to work through that whole situation. And it's like, I like using the UMC with Fusion, I like a lot. Like it's fucking dialed, it works. Like I have not run into a situation where what it shows me on cam isn't what I see on the machine. Like it's true, it's not full G-code simulation technically, but like at the end of the day, like for you and for me, like our templates are set up in a way that that's not what's going to be the thing that fucks us up, like the wrong work offset or whatever,
right,
is just like not going to
into my template.
Like it's that's fine. It's like something else is going to cause a problem, which is like, I found it very interesting that you don't use in-process stock, but like I also understand that because there's been a lot of times where like the model is on and the stock, it like cuts, but like it cut way, way deep, and it just like doesn't, because you're seeing the model, you're like, sick tits. And it's just like, whoa, like, okay, that's a little
like
bit of a
IPS
gouge.
has just always been so buggy for me that I'd rather quick simulate, just like select the last operation and quick simulate, and then do the compare and see where I'm at, than use IPS, because like IPS still doesn't show you the compare value, and like that's what I care about, is like, is everything green, or is there red, or is there blue? Is there more stock to take off, or is it too deep, or whatever? Let's catch up. Jake said, especially as a small shop, you also spend so much time doing stuff like packing parts. And I spent like an entire day cleaning and packing those 100 parts, and was just not about it. It's like, this sucks. I'm not here for it. Jacob, yes, please, people go burn my token. So yeah, if you join the Patreon, any level gets to go to the Discord and search the podcast. You go to the text channel and at the WTP bot, and you can ask it whatever question you want. And I'm constantly refining it right now and getting it better and better. Everyone has a hard limit of, I think, 10 questions a month currently. And then I will probably increase that as I understand the usage a little more. I just don't want to blow through like $300 a month in tokens all of a sudden. So, but right now, go ahead and burn through your 10 questions. It only helps me make it better. And really, I'm just doing it for Patreons because I get people who DM me all the time and they're like, hey, what episode? There was some guy talking about this piece of software. Which one was that? Do you remember? And like very often I do. But I figure if there's a place that people can just go look, like why not? As Zap goes and tries to trip it up. Oh, and it actually still gave you some.
It did give me an answer.
Some episodes.
It said it's clearly a recurring Zapism. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it is hard limited. Like it will not answer stuff like I think Ken asked it how many times I've said and it'll hard limit against stuff like that. But it for the most part is pretty open on episode information.
It's like I'm not gonna go count those words, bitch. You kidding me?
Yeah. Alex says, I think it also works so good for us because of our very dialed digital twin of our tools. Yeah. Having a dialed tool library is an imperative. You cannot deal with machine sim and not have a dialed tool library that has the exact holders you're using and the exact stick out. And I'm actually going through this all again, always be auditing because that was the other thing that I had happened over the last, month or two that we haven't talked is that I finally went through and just bought 25 more PG holders for the other Hermla.
Yeah.
Started setting up my standard tools there. And man, that has just been such a time saver and let me get on the machine. Because I bought Justin from PDX his tool tags, and then he's going to have tool holders like I use on the Speedios, but for HSK soon. And so I'm going to have all of them set up there with tool tags, throw them in the machine, have all my thread mills already set, bunch of my standard tools, and I'm just so stoked on it. It makes things so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. It is surprising how many shops don't have digital twins. I think the project that I'm doing, one of the projects we're working on here, they don't have a tool library. They have spreadsheets of what's in their vending machine. And on almost all of them, the two dimensions that they give you for the tool are the diameter, the cutting diameter, and the overall length of the tool, and that's it. And so searching through that was a fucking nightmare. And then
not even flute count?
No.
Or flute length, sorry?
Yeah, no. It was just those two things. It's sick. Okay, so and then take the part number, go see what it is. One of them, it was I was I think this is what I need, and it was not even fucking close.
Alex posted a link to something that Jamie at JSpec made called Tool Audit. Load one or more tool CSV exports to generate a printable list of tool number, type, name, diameter, and ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
The vibe coding is awesome. Malware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just click on every link.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Yeah, so the bot was one big one. The tool holders was a big one. Went through a ton of tooling on these 17.4 H900 parts. Those ran for, I think I paused for one day between the two part numbers, but that probably was 130 hours of machining between all of those parts. So
Yeah.
the part was 5 hours, I want to say. The Frasia SX HDCs, I used an 8 mil for all the roughing, and those would last pretty consistently 10 plus hours in the cut, if not a little longer.
That's nice.
And,
Is that
ramping
the
it and
part?
all that stuff.
That's not the part where you were.
Yes, that's the part where I was fighting the taper as well.
Yeah. Which
so
is
these parts. I wish I could show them. They look super basic, but they were thin offset parts in 17.4, and they got about an 1/8 inch thin, and they were standing up out of the vise 3 inches, I think.
Yeah.
And if I used a Frasia E-cut and cut the faces on both sides of the part, the little 1/8 inch stick up, it would be a taper of maybe 3 or 4/10 top to bottom.
Yeah.
But I needed a different radius than I stocked. So I think I bought a SGS and an MA Ford to swap in because I was like, oh, these are the ones I can get from Embassy tomorrow. Let's just try those. Well, it was 4 thou of taper top to bottom. And that's even, I think I tried 3 or 4 different speeds and feeds and different step downs and adding finish passes. And I slowed it way, way down to try that. Still nothing. Bought the E-cut with the right radius that I needed and back to 4/10 top to bottom.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they're just so much more free cutting or what it is, but I could not, like, same toolpath. Like, it was a flat on both sides of the part. And E-cut, 3 or 4/10 of taper, SGS or MA Ford 4 thou of taper, which blew them out of tolerance.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
just,
insane. Really,
it is out of control. I mean, it's the, like the thing we were talking about last time. Like, I mean, and those are decent tools, but they're not like Fraser good.
I did not expect that level of difference between like the most basic Fraser and like because I've used MA Fords and they've been great,
Right.
stainless and stuff. I thought like, oh, for sure, this looks as sharp, this looks as nice. I'm sure I won't have any problem. And it was just I either had chatter out on the edge or I had chatter and taper, or I had no chatter but still taper.
I wonder it must had some like, I mean, obviously it had some like geometry issue going on there where it's just like putting a fuckload of tool pressure on it.
Yeah. Same size tool too. Both 3/8. I could not believe it. Really happy to have finished those.
Yeah.
Build and Destroy says his girlfriend wants to know what's on your head.
I don't know. It's just like some biomechanical stuff. Like the back. Hold on, I'm gonna turn around.
Do it.
Is can you see it?
Yeah.
It's a skull. It's just like stuff, I just
Hey James.
he just Mayette? Is that Mayette?
I don't know. It doesn't show last names.
Yeah.
I wish it would. Oh, there.
Yeah.
See, I'm waiting for James to try Eureka more and then tell me if it's good.
Yeah. Is it good, James? Oh, it shows last names on mobile. I think we're just getting cucked by Riverside, honestly. Like there's,
This time it at least shows us how many viewers. Last time we did a live, it didn't even show us how many viewers, and I had to guess from the chat. So
yeah,
it's getting better.
yeah.
Yeah,
We should just do like a kick stream or something next time.
I can do it through YouTube next time I do have the. If you show the message as an overlay, it shows the last names.
I don't think we. No,
Higher.
I don't think we have that layout available to us.
Yeah. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Besides that, I've done a ton of Home Assistant stuff since the last time we talked. I don't think I had touched it last time we were on podcast.
Yeah.
And I've now done all of the lights. We had our electrician come out and run down neutrals for a lot of our lights that were missing them because the building's old enough that it doesn't have them. All the lights every machine has a leak sensor. The water coming out of our DI tanks has a valve on it, and I built the control box for it. And so that shuts off anytime it sees a leak. And then I'm deep in the middle of the coolant monitoring / dosing project now. That V1 will go up hopefully soon. I guess I can say it like we're currently waiting on Datron. So
Yeah.
Datron's putting one in our shop for 6 months to a year. We'll kind of see because they wanted one in Arizona that they could bring potential customers by to show off and whatever, and they wanted our feedback on the control and everything. And so we have a Neo coming our way in the next couple weeks, and so
Sick.
I need that to. I don't want to cut into the Flex's coolant tank, like the paneling. So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna make new panels, and like if the Datron wasn't coming, I would just send it off to Send Cut Send and figure all that stuff out. But now that I'll have the Datron, it's like, I can fit all this stuff, and I'll just cut it out of aluminum sheet, and that way I can prototype it and modify it.
Is that our boy Austin Willings?
Yes, that is.
Nice.
He was just using his Neo today.
Yeah. Oh, people like this. Okay.
I'm good. I'm glad the video quality's good.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
need to do these more often. These are fun.
I mean, we have both been so like all over the place.
Oh yeah.
But we need to
So
do
the
one.
Neo showing up soon, and then the last piece of news is, well, I haven't signed anything yet, but Friday I should sign all the loan documents and send the PO for an auto CMM, and so that should be here. They say like 4 to 6 weeks, I think.
That's pretty good.
And then I think he said they were backed up enough right now that it might take like 2 weeks to get it installed. But
And you went with
2 months from now. We went with Hexagon, which I know is like a severe 180 from everything I've said on the podcast. I'm sure if I asked the bot right now, it'd be like, oh yeah, Dylan doesn't like Hexagon machines.
Yeah.
But one of the big reasons is actually because of the whole vibe coding thing. Like, because Fusion has an open API, PCDMIS is an open API, I can write a direct app that will send stuff out of Fusion with the Langvice, with everything, and send it right into PCDMIS. And then also with Fusion starting to do PMI authoring, where you can have like the baked into your step.
Yeah.
You can program PCDMIS straight off of PMI or straight off of OCR on a print.
Oh,
Like,
baby.
it'll literally just say like, okay, click the face that is datum A. And you're like, this one. And it's like, okay, click B, click C. And then it's like, okay, these holes are called back to datum A, B, and C. And so
Yeah.
theoretically, at some point here, once PMI is kind of more baked into Fusion, I might be able to send it directly out of Fusion into PCDMIS, have it exactly where it's supposed to be,
Right.
and mostly like step by step have it programmed for us.
Right. There's also probably, you could also probably do some shit with like, no, probably not. But I keep thinking about like Justin doing the APIs, you know, for Tool, and that's like the direction that Toolpath is going. Like, I wonder if you can do some shit with that, like for the
Well,
DFM.
That's why,
Yeah.
we will see. Like it's
Yeah.
hopefully this will all work out how I think it will, because even if I can just get it out of Fusion into PCDMIS onto, because we're going to have a Lang plate on the machine itself.
Are you going to
I'm
get a real link plate, or are you going to go Chinese for that one?
I'm probably just going to get a real one if they have another one that's scratch and dent.
Oh, sure.
That's what I always ask for. If I like the ones that I have the little manual lock on it for the Hermlas.
Yeah.
Those were both scratch and dent scratch
cool.
and demo, I guess is what they call it. So,
Yeah.
but I'm going to just rip off Inspection Arsenal. So we'll have the
Okay.
Natron sitting there. It's not like promised to customer parts right now. We need a project to get used to it anyway. And so it seems like kind of the perfect thing is, machine those rails, machine the interlocking plates, press in some magnets. And then that also frees us up to just print Inspection Arsenal like adapter plates. Like if I need something quickly for a part, I can just print that little tile piece and stick it on there.
Dude, Inspection Arsenal is like 20 minutes from me.
Really?
Yeah. They're in Boylston, which is where Moogie is.
It's super cool. They're just hella expensive.
Yeah. Well, they give you all the CAD files, so, I mean, they know what they're doing.
Even if they didn't, it's not like a crazy, it's very reproducible.
Yeah.
So that's the plan for now though. And it's the exact same machine that I programmed at my last job. So
Sick.
yes, I will have to deal with PCDMIS again. It does look like it's gotten a little better in the last couple of years, which is nice. Like some of the UI stuff is a lot nicer.
Yeah.
It's still PCDMIS, but I don't know. Like what ended up leading us down this rabbit hole is like Easton taught Brad and I to program his Duramax
Nice. Yeah.
last IMTS. And I was like, Calypso's not like this crazy intuitive software that everyone made it out to be. It's like it's better in some ways than PC Demus, and it's also I missed a lot of the control. Like he had a thing where I don't remember what his root cause ended up being, but it would choose two different paths to get to the same thing, and one of them could collide potentially or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't really like it. Like I like auto pathing if it works and it's deterministic 100% of the time.
Yeah.
With PC Demus, I can at least I think it's like Control T or something shows path lines, or Control P.
Yeah, it shows the code.
Click on a path line and then move a point out. And you're like, oh, go around this. Don't run into that.
And you can like straight up, it's like edit the
Demus code.
The Demus code. Yeah. Like just
I mean, that's how I programmed it, because I never programmed it with the GUI that they offer you, because you lose a lot of the thing. Like if I'm taking points in a circle and I want to go around something, in the fancy version you can't change that, but in the Demus thing you can see each point and I can just add a move point in between them. It's like I can go up and over stuff, and you have a lot of control on it.
Yeah. My one and only experience really with Demus stuff was working on a project probably like a decade ago now. And the guy who was running the CMM and programming the CMM was doing a bad job. And so when he left, I opened up his program and saw where the part where it was going. And it's like, oh, you dumb fuck. Like you didn't do it right. It wasn't going to like the right spot to like get the web on these angles. So we just like went in and like changed them a little bit. And I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Alex, they all do suck. I agree. James, CMM equals can't measure much. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with CMMs is like they are really garbage in, garbage out machines. Like I can make a CMM say whatever I want. What's going on, Joe? Thanks for joining. And then Build and Destroy says, agree with Alex. He's got a Modus, which is a bit more tolerable with some vibe-coded tools to help with outputs and some initial input stuff. Alex says, even in the Hexagon training, they say beginners use summary mode or whatever they call it, and the good guys use, exactly. Plain code is, once you get used to it, it's really not that bad. You learn all the shortcuts. I think the thing that bugs me most about PC Demus, and we'll see if the new version is this way, is that there were just some bugs that like you just couldn't get around, really. Yeah. Like there was one bug in particular, and I can't remember. It was like you would take your manual datums and then go into automatic mode, and it would just like fuck off into space. It was just not respected at all. And I spent a couple days looking into it, and I was really worried I was going to have to delete my whole thing and start over. And then I found in the forums, they were like, oh, just copy and paste your entire program, like the Demus code, into a Word document, and then kill that program and then start a new file and copy and paste it all back in, and then bring in your file, and like it'll work. And you'll just have to like repath a couple things. I'm like, I mean, it's better than starting over. So
yeah. I mean, you're kind of starting over, but not quite.
Yeah. Alex, he says, they had some issues and their solution was try restarting it. I've not only had try restarting it, I remember going to level 2 training and I was having issues with, I think it was auto pathing or clearance cube, or maybe both. And they flat out told me, they're like, oh yeah, just don't even use those features. Like they just don't work well. And I'm like, sick. Glad we bought those ones.
You love to hear that. Yeah. That's so fun.
Oh, the specs too. We got a 710.7 machine with a 2.5 degree indexing 5-axis head and full scanning. So it's the stress strain gauge, full scanning, all that stuff. Joe, the reason why CMM software sucks is because people view inspection as a evil, and a necessary evil, and nobody likes it.
As described right here, brother.
Yeah. So it's there's no money in it, whereas CAM is like the, how you create the parts so people see the direct value add there.
It's so fucking lame though that it's viewed that way, because like, I mean, we've talked about this at length. Really, is like, it doesn't fucking matter how good the part is unless you can inspect it. You know, a case in point, the fucking turnkey we did a year ago, they like just shipped out the last bit of those parts now, and they're like the customer is rejecting them, and it's like, what? They're like, yeah, they said they're all bad. It's like, you measured them and they were good, like, and you ran them, and they were low key trying to throw shade at us, but also at the same time, I talked to the other brother and he's like, yeah, the engineer that designed those parts left the company, and the guy that took over doesn't like the design, so they're just rejecting all the parts.
Sick.
Yeah, it's
Even
like,
better.
that's really cool. It's like, I mean, but there was lots of stuff like during that project where it's like, we would measure some shit and it's, oh, you're measuring stuff wrong, you know? Or people don't know how to, like, it is so bizarre, with like, people just like don't put as much attention into the inspection, like nearly as much as they should. Like understanding how like a fucking boundary condition works on a datum, you know? It feels like a lost art.
Right. James, hard coding Demus is, I would say, harder than Renishaw cycles here. We'll see if this works.
Whoa.
It's like way too big.
Wow.
That sucks. Anyway, it's like much more verbose, unfortunately, but a lot of it you like click into and then it just gives you the options that are available. It's not as bad as it looks, but it is still not as easy as like Renishaw cycles are at least, you have like 10 or 20 cycles and it's like, that's it.
This would be more like coding, a macro, like the whole macro by hand.
Yeah, exactly. But like with like a helper that only lets you put in correct syntax.
Right.
Like if I type in if I type in something in the wrong format or call out the wrong thing, it just won't accept it rather than whatever. But let's see what.
That's why we built the macro playground. I should have talked about that.
Well, you still can. We're not.
Yeah.
Done.
No, it's too late. I mean, I'm super happy with that tool and how that thing came together. People use it, and it like backplots and all this other dumb bullshit, but it's been pretty effective at now being able to cycle through like a whole macro, like, or a string of macros, even with the jumps and everything, which has been pretty sick. I think James uses it, maybe. I know Brian Bidwell does.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's better than backplot is the fact that you have so many of the macros turned on. So like it explains them correctly, which is, I think, so cool because nothing else does that. Like it's insane to me that in 2026, Renishaw doesn't have something that helps you along. I mean, I guess they have their like visual programming stuff in a lot of machines now, but it's crazy that there's not something more helpful. Let's see. Oh yeah. So Build and Destroy, we don't do enough of the same part to do an equator, though they are coming out with a CMM version of the equator now this year, or has already come out. I don't remember what the package is called, but you can actually use it as a fairly accurate small part CMM. I was curious about it, but again, it's just like one more thing to learn. PCDemus, I at least know. I know the hardware is super good. But that's really like what it came down to too, is like I have seen people full rapid crash hexagon machines and not break anything. Like they broke the styli and then we like threw another style on it, recalibrated it, and it was good to go. Mm-hmm. So I don't expect us to do that, but it's a nice safety blanket of like, okay, this thing's built pretty beefy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Alex says that your thing shows up as number 6 on a Google search of macro playground.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I just did that right now just to see if it's like, and it is, there's a bunch of random bullshit about like code snippets, nothing to do with like, it's a lot with Xcode, and then CNC for me macro playground thing, which I've seen that one. I was talking to that guy on Reddit, and his is pretty decent, but mostly for Fanic only. And then ours is down there, which is fun. Yeah.
So I added the WTP bot real quick, and I said, what's Dylan's sentiment on PC Demus? And it says, Dylan's view on PC Demus has been consistently negative through the archive. The most recent excerpts show that it hasn't softened. If anything, it's hardened into a settled opinion. So I'll be interested to see what the bot says after this episode comes out.
Yeah. That is hilarious.
That is very funny. So yeah, new CMM, Datron on its way. Flex is just killing it. The old Hermla is good. We had PM on it maybe a month ago, and everything checked out amazingly. We got a PM on the Flex coming up in 2 weeks, which is just crazy to think that we've burned through that many hours on it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise things are good. We're cranking. It just has been so good.
Fuck yeah.
Alex says, yeah, he's been impressed with the durability of the 454 they had because students do some really dumb shit. Yeah, the one that that I saw that was insane is we had this girl, I think she was one of my manager's daughters or cousins or something. And we had a fixture, and you had to probe the fixture first. A big, bold letter, warning comes up, do not load part. And you had to hit OK, and she loaded the part and then hit OK, and it full Z rapided into the part as hard as it could. And I was halfway across the room and felt Ruby hit my back.
Wow.
I was like, ooh, sick. Okay. And then, yeah, we just recalibrated it, and it continued making good parts. It was like,
Ruby.
Checking good parts. It was insane. It was the worst crash I've seen on a CMM.
Yeah.
Especially because it was straight through the style eye, like up into the head and everything. I was like, this is terrible. We got so lucky, I think.
That is fucking brutal. That's out of control.
Well, should we get into questions?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Before we get into the ones we've written down, anybody in the audience have questions for us?
Going once. Yeah.
Give them a second.
I guess another thing. I lost 25 pounds. That's pretty nice.
Congrats, man. Yeah, I texted you when you sent me the picture of you and Phil. I was like, is that Phil? And also, you look like you've lost a lot of weight. So
yeah.
Congrats, man.
That was after I ate like my body weight in pizza with Phil. I was like, man, who is Build and Destroy? Do we know who that is? Do you know who that is?
I don't know him by name.
Build and Destroy. Who are you? Say your name.
I think he's Build and Destroy on Instagram too.
Yeah.
That rings a bell. Details on the coolant system. Yeah, I kind of glossed over that. So I might have the only good Keyence interaction that I've ever heard of. I really love our Keyence rep for sensors, at least. So it's going to be, Keyence makes a refractometer that's live. You sit in the tank. It gives you live temperature and concentration. You can adjust the parameter values so that it, depending on your bricks to percentage, it shows the right stuff. So it's a radar level sensor from Keyence. Right now, it's all going to be going into an ESP32 that will plug it into Home Assistant. So I'll have a live dashboard of concentration and level. And my plan right now is just to have the dashboard say, like, here's the concentration, here's the level, and then you need 30 gallons at 2% to be at your targets.
Yeah.
Long term, and the other things that I've bought is the refractometer has to go through their little display, and you can either just use a display called the FI1000, or you can use one of their flow meters, which is I'm using the FDH10. And so it will, the plan is we're going to plumb water to each machine and then have a peristaltic pump pumping out of like either a 5 or a 10 gallon little bucket of coolant concentrate, and it will go direct into the water and mix and plumb in as much water as it needs to hit my target. So like the Flex, I'll probably target a 75% tank so that, as it pulls out of the little sub conveyor tank that I never overflow, there's going to be a million level sensors, and the radar level sensor is what is going to be the primary, like, hey, you are 20% low. And then there's going to be a float that is a direct kill to the relay for the valve that lets the water in. And on top of it, there's going to be leak sensors on the bottom that also will direct kill everything but the sensors and there will be a Raspberry Pi associated with this, or a CM5, like the industrial version of that
Cool.
will do kind of high level calculations and trend setting and all of that. So it like should start to be able to know like you are consistently this low, and when the outside temperature is this much, then you're this low, and logging all of that, and we'll have all that data. But everything is going to run through an industrial PLC, a Click PLC. So all of the hard stuff, like all the stuff that could lead to a flood in my shop, will be controlled by industrial hardware, not a Raspberry Pi.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you going to open source this when you're done?
Yep. Yeah, it's the build, like the BOM is not cheap. I think
Right.
I'm looking at like $2,400 a machine.
I mean,
But,
the Coolant IQ thing that CJ Abraham is coming out with is a street value of like 10 grand, you know?
okay, yeah,
Like, and I think the one that EJ at Swarf Unlimited sells is also like 10 grand. So, I mean, 25, well, let's just call it $2,500 plus like once you've figured out how it all goes together, it'll be probably like an afternoon or something.
yeah.
Is like totally like a totally appropriate number to like not have to fucking worry about this ever again, you know?
The nice thing about using all of the sensors in the Keyence ecosystem
Yeah.
is that the radar level and the refractometer go into a Y connector that's like just the normal M8 little barrel connector.
Right.
That Y goes into the flow sensor, which is what we're going to be using to check flow of the water. That goes directly into one of their NQ blocks, which is just like a M8 block. And then that thing goes Ethernet out to the PLC and Ethernet out to the Raspberry Pi. So like all of that side of it is direct plug and play. You don't need to make any connectors. The only thing that will have like wiring to it is the Click PLC out to all the relays for like the valve for the water, and then all the sensors going in. And then the other thing that I'm going to do to make it like extra safe is I'll have a control box that will live out, like another PLC that will live out at the main trunk of my water line. And every night it will shut every valve and then do a leak down test, like a pressure leak down test on the main water line to check for leaks as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Like
That's cool.
it's not bulletproof. And I think especially for probably the first 8 months to a year, we're not going to do any automated filling at night. So at least if there's a leak, I'm here. But we should, I think I'm limiting it to a 1.5 gallons per minute is the max. Yeah, James, that is exactly what I'm trying to avoid. He says I have flood floors on Friday at 4:30. Because the last thing I want to do is come into like, or worst case, oh man, I would feel so terrible if I got a call from like a neighbor or from my landlord that was like, hey, you flooded 3 suites.
Dude, that JP Dynamics, when they had just moved in, they did that. Like they came in, like something burst, and like they said there was like this much standing water, like 3 inches of water, and it had went under and like into the other suites, and it was so fucked up.
Yeah. Going back a few questions, Alex asked about coolant recommendations. I've used Blazer before. At my last job, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. It was kind of a lot of upkeep because they use pH to control bacteria. But it was also kind of nice on your skin. Definitely don't get anything fully synthetic. I know that coolant reps love to push that stuff, but all it does is create problems. It'll eat zinc, it'll eat paint. Do not do fully synthetic. We use Qualichem 250C. It's relatively inexpensive. I mean, it's not like the crazy inexpensive stuff out there, but like for the performance, I think it's very inexpensive and it's very easy to get depending on where you are in the country.
Yeah. I really like Castrol MB50. That shit's good.
Which I've heard is like so close to 250C.
It's
I've,
very
I've,
close.
I've had friends who were even told you can mix them, which I don't know if I would do that, but I've
Yeah.
heard that.
MB50, not 25. I've never used MB25. I've used MB50 on like everything. And then we use, in our machine, we use Trim, the 692 XT, which is pretty affordable and it's really solid.
Because you
Have had-
swapped from Hankstafers to that, right?
We we went from 692 XT to Fuchs Global 1000, which is like full synthetic, and it turned our way covers because we were like the last model year of galvanized before they switched back to stainless, because that was a fucking mistake, and it turned them all black. So luckily the coolant guys we use, Admiral, another shout out to them, like they were like, oh, sorry, we just signed with we just got master fluid, so here you can have this instead, and they just gave it to us, which is sick. So we have way more coolant than we need, you know. But again, also shout out to Simon and Freddie for making the changeover really nice. Also shout out to Michael Morton and Charles, because I didn't have to fucking do it. So that's nice.
Speaking of Freddie, I still have to go coolant sump diving in the Flex, because you know the orange flexible nozzle.
Wow, it's in there?
Oh, is
It fell off?
It fell off. I was skimming the top of the Flex,
That's so funny.
and all of a sudden it was just like boop. And that thing is so deep. I put a trash bag over my entire arm and went up to my shoulder, and I can't find it yet.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
I guess you're
somewhere in there.
sucking it up because you got the EcoVac now?
Yeah, I have the big one now,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Being able to run both the suck and the blow at the same time is night and day, especially
suck
when
and blow.
you have an 800 liter tank. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, this would suck otherwise. No pun intended.
Yeah. Have you seen the fucking, I don't know if he's released the sticker that he's going to. We've seen it.
He showed it off in his stories.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I'm so stoked. We're putting that on a t-shirt.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Freddie and Simon are releasing 250 stickers at IMTS. They're going to be, tens with certain people every day. And if you find someone, they're all numbered 1 through 250. And then the numbers are going to be drawn for, I think there's a American flag EcoVac and an American flag Micro Plus or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super, super cool idea. Like I'm
think-
very, very stoked.
You're getting stickers and I'm getting stickers.
Sure.
think-
I offered.
I don't know.
He didn't tell me yet if I'm going to.
Yeah.
I assumed I was.
I
but-
told him I would. He's like, it's going to be tattooed on the guy. And it's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, it's going to be super cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a bunch of stickers of my own too. I just placed an order with BC Eagle stickers and shirts.
Nice.
I think I have 33 with intolerance and 33 PM logo ones. Not the full Proteum machining, but just the small logo.
With the plus minus.
Yeah. And
I love
I'll
that
have
shit.
200 of each sticker, the with intolerance and the Proteum machining one.
Nice.
James, you're getting one. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that will be. I'm very stoked that because I did that last year. Like I gave away a bunch of shirts, and this year I ordered even more because I was like, screw it. And BC Eagle Manufacturing is just fantastic. Like I love supporting a school program. Though today it was so funny. I was telling Brad, I was like, yeah, their pricing is so good, and he goes, yeah, it's literal child labor. And I'm like,
You're like,
I mean,
oh,
fair, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're getting paid for it, but yeah.
there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. It's all fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, Alex, you should convince your school to buy a Freddy if you can. They're expensive, but they are so worth it.
Yeah.
Dealing with chips and coolant sucks otherwise. Really, I mean, I did it for years and then got my first Micro Plus and I was like, oh, this is the way. This is the right way
Yeah.
to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Alex, I don't know why more schools don't do what their model does, where the kids run the program and quote work and make money and get work experience. I know the local school here has said that they don't do that kind of stuff because they don't want to compete with shops. But realistically, people aren't going to send, Raytheon's not going to be sending their aerospace parts to the community college here. You're going to get, the brackets and stuff that nobody wants anyway. So it seems like such a killer deal for everybody involved.
I have an answer, and like most of the time, it's the person who's in charge of the department just sucks, and would not be able to successfully run the program.
Right.
I think that's mostly what it comes down to. Like it's beyond, like there's quite a few people that are. I mean, it is a those who can't do teach situation for a lot of these places. And then you have people that can do, and they did, and now they're teaching.
Right. Yeah. I think that's the double-edged sword of being like a professor or like an actual instructor. Like adjuncts are great because they're still working.
Right.
But once you become just a professor, at some point you've diverged enough from what's actually going on in shops that you have to be relentlessly looking for the new thing, I think. Otherwise you get pretty stale pretty quick.
Yeah. It's a
tough one.
It was cool. That was what made like going to ASU pretty cool. It was like all the professors were like active in industry. Is it like that now? I have no fucking clue. I really doubt it, but it was cool then.
Right. I mean, the guy I learned most from at Pima here was an adjunct and was working as a prototype machinist. And like that's, I think, why I learned so much so quickly is I even, he brought me by his job at one point and showed me their machines and what they were working on. And it was amazing. And James says maybe the local community college could hook up with McMaster and work out a deal to do brackets or something benign for the experience. I think that would be amazing. Anything like that would be fantastic. Alex, I feel for you guys as, instructors because it's to do your job well, you have to be up on what's going on in shops, but you also have to do your job well, which is instruction. And that's kind of hard to do both. Especially because nobody in education is paid enough to do barely their normal job, let alone all the research outside of it. So
where are you at, Alex? Well, I'll come help.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit the only Patreon written question right now from Zach Pennington. He says, let's say you're working on a tight tolerance part with like plus or minus 0.2. You comp your tool correctly the first time and hit nominal. Is the part A, dead nuts, B, right on the money, C, beer and titties, which I had never heard before, or D, insert your own phrase? What's your go-to?
I normally say dead nuts.
That's my
or
go-to
right
as
on
well.
the money, but I do like beer and titties.
I do too.
Though I don't really drink anymore, so I guess root beer and titties would work.
I don't know that sparkling water and titties has the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dead nuts has always been my go-to for that. But it's good question, Zach. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Eastern North Carolina. I'll go there. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And maybe in the fall or spring or whatever. I'll go anywhere. I don't care.
There you go. Let's see. From Instagram, Joel asked, any tips for production turning of steel, specifically 4140? They're bigger parts like 6-inch OD by 20-inch long. They are using D-Vibe boring bars and Acme threading. Any successful examples of automation in this scenario? You did that oil field thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are like sized parts, right?
Kind of. The biggest difference for us there is like we didn't touch the OD at all. It was only ID cutting the ends. So, it's a pretty fascinating thing. I mean, I have like multiple questions, which is, I mean, I'm assuming the lathe is massive if you can do that. Is there like a steady rest? What does the part look like? I mean, it's really, that's a really tough one. It's a tough thing to answer of like any successful examples of automation in this scenario. Cause like the closest thing that I've done like this was at a company in New Hampshire, I want to say, that we essentially used the machine, like it was a 3 turret machine, and we used the 2 lower turrets as like a gripper, and like pinched the part and then like raised it up and then put it in the chuck that way, you know? I don't like. There's not enough. Unfortunately, there's not enough information here to answer what the part looks like. If we're like, are we turning the whole 20 inches, or are we only turning like some of it? ID, OD. Like, how do we? Is it solid? Does it start solid? I'm assuming if it's Acme thread, it's probably like a big pipe type situation.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Joel, you should reach out to Jody, mayor of Little River. His stuff is all brass, but like they do a lot of large turning automation. So at least he would have probably some ideas there, I would bet. Nikki's question was, what process do you use to speed up programming time, not specific to any one CAM system, but overall?
That's a good question. I mean,
You gonna build your tool library drum?
yeah, I mean, really, it's just like good tool library, good toolpath templates, good work holding templates, good any kind of template really speeds you up. Like, I mean, to be a like absolute dead horse in this situation is like, there's no reason to not have a tool library. If you are in a situation like, I mean, I went to a company in Philly and I was like yelling at them a bunch because they're like, oh, we're fucking, we play with the stick out of the tool by like 50 thou. And I was like, you gotta fucking stop doing that. Like, it's like, it just doesn't matter. Like it make the tool stick out so that it will reach, and then program it so that it will cut well at whatever stick out you have, which sounds like obvious, but it's like there's no reason to start like optimizing before you've actually made a fucking part, Right. And they took the advice well enough from what I can tell, but like that's like the biggest thing is like number one, but like obviously tool library, whatever, but like mentality wise, like perfection is the enemy of success. The goal is to be able to make a program that makes a good part first try. First, don't even think about speed. Speed means fucking nothing. Just make a good fucking part. Like that should be the thought. Oh, I have to make so many, whatever. It's like, if you make a fast part bad, it's still fucking bad. It means fucking nothing. Just focus on making a good part.
Yep. Like, good parts than fast parts.
Yeah.
It's got it. When is that going to be on a shirt, Zap?
That should be pretty soon. I think I'm going to do that one as a collab with Matsura.
Sick.
Yeah.
Build and Destroy in chat says, looking for any suggestions on production spur gear manufacturing. They do a few thousand gears between 1.25 to 4-inch OD for their products. Currently saw cutting slugs, op 1 and 2 milling blanks that are going to a rotary arbor and cutting 10 at a time with form tools. Inherited equipment from the prior business. Dude, I mean, that sounds pretty dialed. What are your complaints? That's the biggest question there. If you're doing having the time on the hardest part of that,
dude. Like we have a customer that does gear hobbing, and that sounds dialed. It is dog shit slow to do it like that.
Right.
Like it takes
the other option would be some kind of 5-axis skiving. Maybe?
I mean, depending, like if they're straight gears at 4-inch OD, like
James,
you could
skiving is the fastest way.
James, you sell Washon High Tech 230 BL is a machine that can do 4-inch OD parts, you know,
Okay.
like, and you can turn it, do whatever you need to it, and do the gear hobbing inside the machine, cut it off, transfer it, cut the back, blah, 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 whatever. It's super easy. You've done that before. It becomes fairly automatic at that point. $2,000 a month, like, I'd say that's pretty trivial and like kind of thoughtless, honestly, at that point. But that's what, and like, I've done that. It adds this like a lot of time technically to this whole, like, cut the saw cut slugs and do milling and all this stuff, but it can't be worse than that. And
Right.
frankly, like what we saw, like, we were getting better finishes off the Hi-Tech 230 than we were off of the actual gear hobbing machine,
Wow.
which was pretty interesting.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be, the handling is killer between all the ops, is what he says. I would think, you either want some kind of skiving or you want some kind of gear hobbing if you can get away with it. Either of those
if we-
is going to be the big thing.
Let's say divided by.
Actually, speaking of MTS, Jake had asked what I was excited for. I mean, this is like, obviously I'm a big Hermla fanboy, but I'm looking forward to seeing the C22 MT
T? Yeah,
turn.
that thing's nutty.
Like I could see us getting one of those eventually with either a flex or the pallet loading. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
It's like-
$1.5 minimum, but
Yeah, easy million and a half. I mean, by the time you get it to how you'd want it, it'd probably be closer to 2. But hey, if you need it, you need it. Like, that is
right. It's
like,
definitely not a tomorrow purchase, but it's
yeah,
one of those things.
LOL.
I keep hearing, Alex, I keep hearing about the Haas mill turn, but I have not heard any real information. I look forward to seeing what it is.
I think it's either
It's another VT 750.
no.
gonna be-
It's like it's like a fuck. What's that dumbass Doosan one? The like DMX or whatever, the DX or what's
Oh, the one that Eddie didn't
like
get,
Eddie has, the SMX
the
or
4+1.
yeah, I have no fucking clue. But it's like a real B-axis machine, you know.
Interesting.
The
DNX,
DNX.
that's the
Oh,
one I was thinking
DNX, not
about, yeah.
DMX. What you really want. It's like, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be trash. Like, at least initially, the thing that they have absolutely struggled with bringing on the lines that aren't built by them is integrating somebody else's drives into the motor, like integrating their drives and control into the motor. Like, the DC1 like has a very interesting issue where if you push the power up restart button, that every fucking Haas from now until like
Right. From the
30, 40 years
Xbox.
ago, like forever, like has had that button to like home the machine, but that machine has like real absolute encoders and a servo tool changer. And what was happening was because it needs to home everything, it would try and home the tool changer and it would fuck it up and it would like lose position. So like it has like now it pops up a thing because the button's still there. Obviously, they wouldn't remove it, and it'll just be like, "Don't push the button." Like, you don't need to push the button. Just keep going.
You would think that they would just make it not home that axis.
Yeah, you would
That
think.
seems like the smart
you would
choice.
You would think, and
Like,
so
just
like
let people home it even with absolute encoders, but
Yeah.
just don't home the
yeah.
turret.
And like I've heard from apps guys that like the Boxway lathe is kind of a piece of shit. It's okay, but it's not nearly as beefy as you think it would be. And I mean, really, almost all of the issues kind of stem from the control just not being like, they didn't really think about this. Obviously, like this is a new thing, so they're trying to like make it work backwards, and it's killing them.
I really hope that they have a DC4 there, whatever the big one that's
Yeah.
crazy. Like it has like no Z, but a ton of X and like
Yeah.
not a ton of Y. I just want to see one in person.
98 inches of is it the 108 inches of X and like 20 or 16 inches of Y and like
Look it up.
and like 3 inches of Z. But it was really interesting. We got hired by an integrator, like just a straight robot integrator to help them get a Haas integrated to a Fanuc robot. And this is the most, they build like automotive cells, and we worked with them on the Sugami project, which had like 2 robots and like it just had all this shit, but it was Fanuc machines. And they're like, they needed help with the Haas, and they're like, this is the most archaic, backwards bullshit I've ever seen. Like, it makes no fucking sense. They very clearly don't have like a dual check safety system in there. So you just kind of like, to like get the cell safe to work, you like pulse a signal, and they're like, I don't even know if if the relay is going to work. You could technically do cell safe over Ethernet, which is like not that legit. Like, it's pretty fucked. It's pretty bad.
So
like,
it's 98 by just under 20 by just under 12. It is the most lopsided machine ever. It is like for weird extrusion stuff, though it comes with a 40 taper for some reason, which is also just a very strange choice.
Yeah.
Alex says he's heard good things about the compressors in the auto bandsaw. I don't know about the compressor, but like can approve 100% of the bandsaw. Like we have the JLH that they white label, and it's been nothing. It's been one of the best purchases for the shop.
Are you able to, like, I think I was fucking something up because like I just used one, and my parts that I was cutting was under 3 inches, and there was just like a huge gap where it would cut and just drop into a hole, and then it jammed the saw up, which is yeah I know.
That should be fine. Yeah, like we do manual cuts occasionally, like where we'll set the stick out manually and then just do a manual cut. But they're fantastic. Like I would highly recommend them. The only thing on it that does not work at all, and do not believe it as a feature, is they like offer this like auto feed rate thing that's supposed to sense like the blade torque and adjust the feed rate based on it. And it works in stainless kind of, and it works in steel kind of, but like does not work in aluminum at all. Like aluminum does not generate enough torque on the motors. It just maintains whatever the feed rate is. And it just like I put a 12-inch round in there thinking like this is big enough. This will create enough like bandsaw pressure that it'll work. Nope. It just trucked along at whatever it did initially, which was way too slow, and then never increased the feed rate. But like, so we just never use it, like ever at all. Even in the stainless, we just turn it down to what we know it should be, and it works. So
okay,
but we put nice blades on it. We use Baco Sandflex ones.
Okay, I never heard of them.
Brad used them at his last job. Baco, I think, is owned by Sandvik now, or something like that. Or anyway, they're fantastic. They're bimetal blades. They cut everything. We have a friend locally who they occasionally do these large titanium parts, like out of 8 and 9 inch round. And we have a standing agreement with them that because they don't have a bandsaw, and I'm like, you can use it anytime you want. Just bring me a new blade, and like they have our spec for the blade, and they'll buy us one, and then come over and do 10, 15 cuts to get their little pie pieces that they need, and then send it.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, those Baco blades work amazing. I think I would buy that saw in a heartbeat again, though it has gotten $10,000 more expensive than it was, or something like that.
Yeah. Why? What happened?
Because it's made in China.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand.
It's awesome. But no, I would 100% sign off on that. Like I think it sucks because there's nothing in the middle there. Like we don't need. Well, actually, that's not a lie. I am very glad we have something that can cut 12 inches now. But at the time, we didn't really need it, and it would have been nice if there was something in between a Tormach auto saw and the JLH/Haas auto saw.
Nice.
Oh, good, Joe. I'm glad you liked the Baco blades. Again, that came from Brad's last job. That's what they used on their Continental.
Is that Mr.
saws.
Alonso?
No, I think that's Mr. Frame Building.
Okay. And then I guess the Haas air compressor does rip. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex, it's tough because like there's nothing in the middle there. The Tormach is like just small enough that I wouldn't really want it. And the JLH/Haas 30, I guess they call it the HAB 3232, is like, especially with the outfeed table and everything, like it came with the infeed table and the outfeed table. The outfeed table on ours has never been attached to the saw. We threw it in our storage room because it would just take up way too much space otherwise. But the coolant system works well. The little screw chip management, the auger works great. The blades work great. It's just great. Like
$35,000.
Yeah, and I think we paid like 25 shipped.
Right. Right.
Because we got it on sale too. It was 5,000. It was 5,000 off because of IMTS, I think.
Damn. And they have one available right now and 12 build to order. Fuck. 12 weeks build to order. Damn.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd have a lot more of those fuckers because IMTS is coming up, but maybe not.
I mean, you would think.
Yeah.
You would think. Yeah, I'm actually trying to find my... Yeah, so we got 10% off. List price at the time was $28,000. So...
Damn.
Yeah, it was a great deal. Cannot complain. It was $2,500 to ship. And it was like a week out, too, which was insane.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only thing that Haas...
$27,695 delivered.
I think the Haas would be free with Winter Circle. Dude, like they do the air compressor ships for free with Winter Circle. It's
really?
Pretty insane. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that they had a cold saw now too, and a miter saw and a vertical
they have
saw. That's
fucking
cool.
everything. They're gonna do a shop in a box at some point.
Yeah, Jacob, how's that Kozen saw CNC conversion going?
Dude, speaking of Haas, we've been having a conversation with this guy who bought a pocket lathe, which like isn't even like listed. You have to like look for it. It's like 30 grand for a lathe because he wants to like bring his product in house. He has like 150 SKUs or something like that, and he's like, I don't want to learn how to program. I just want a turnkey. And we're like, and all he has is drawings. So we'd have to make models, program them, and then set them all up. And I'm like, if we're absolutely cooking, that's 2 hours per part, all in, right? 300 hours. And Michael Morton's been talking to him, and he's like, wait, the turnkey is going to cost me more than the machine? Like, yeah. Big time. Because he doesn't know, he's like, well, it's not actually 150 because some of them are just like longer versions of the other one. And it's like, that's a different part. You don't just tell it's like, computer, make it longer. Like, and then it just fucking works. Like, come on, man.
Oh no, poor guy. That seems like something you should have figured out before you bought the machine.
But he told us, he's like, well, I didn't buy the SL because that was too much money. And it's like, and we were like, we had talked to this guy like a year ago, or I talked to Connor about him a year ago.
Okay.
Or something. And it was like, yeah, I mean, we can do it. We can do anything really. Like, but
how many hours do you want to buy up front?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where it's at. I tell people, I mean, at this moment. I'm like, we just start with 25 so that if we don't like each other, this is really simple. And people do that. They buy 25, then they'll buy like a lot.
Good. Good. Yeah, Alex. So Alex says he's looking at the Pocket Lathe and Pocket Mill Hard for if they need more machines at the school, which is fine. The Pocket Mill is interesting, though the spindle speed bothers me quite a bit. Because it's, like, I don't know. By the time you outfit it, I feel like you should just get a TM0.
Right.
I think we talked about this a while ago when they first came out. The TM0 is just like so close in price that you should just get a TM0. The Pocket Mill makes no sense.
And the mini mill, dude. I don't know. The new Super Mini. Well, Alex is out of school, right? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Is like they should get a fat discount because it's Haas.
yeah. Mini mill for education. Go for that educational discount.
Go.
They knock like quite a bit off the machine.
I didn't even know they brought back the Super Mini. Yeah, Joe says his friend has a Super Mini mill and it's pretty sweet. I didn't even realize they brought him back.
Yeah, the Super Mini is sick. It has a side-mounted tool changer on it. Like,
which they used to have, and then they got rid of it because it was cannibalizing VF sales.
Yeah.
And then they brought it back, which is okay, sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, and then there's that whole productivity package with the Super Mini. For like 80 grand, you get the robot loader too.
Yeah, very good robot loader.
I really want to see somebody run that.
They're okay. I mean, we were at I think this was like right before we recorded last time. We were at the HFO Boise open house. And they had a couple of those there, and they're pretty good. I mean, frankly, like, are they awesome? No, they're trash. But like for the money,
20 grand or whatever.
It's like really, really hard to beat for the money. Like,
yeah,
it's not super fast. It's a straight up Chinese robot you can buy on Alibaba right now, but they like do a decent enough job. Like, they really, really, try and get you to use their automation where it's like integrated really well into the control, so you can like do everything like on screen or whatever. And that's pretty okay. Like, it's not too bad.
The RPL seems like a decent system from them. The pallet loader, but like the other stuff like the Cobot and the compact parts loader seem, yeah. I mean, you get what you pay for, it seems like.
Yeah. Alex, why are you getting cucked by Haas so bad? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Alex, we need to try to put you in touch with the right people.
Yeah.
And get you in the right room at IMTS.
Yeah. We just gotta, yeah. Yeah, there's no reason. Yeah, fuck North Carolina, I guess. You know what? I'm not going there now.
What if he's into it?
Oh no. He's got his nice little chair set up in the corner so he can look at it at a cardboard. He pulls a Justin and he pulls a Justin, just makes like a cardboard version of the machine and then sits outside of it and looks at it. He's like, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh man, that's curious. All right. Well, unless anybody in the audience has more questions, we might start wrapping it up, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we've been going for 2 hours. Pretty good.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun doing another live.
Yeah, we got to do more. We should do one with Justin.
Yeah.
Mr. fucking CEO.
This time, but yeah, he's been a little busy, so, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was having not a great day today.
Yeah.
But I really like his plan for Toolpath, the APIs. I think that's smart.
Awesome. Oh, I'm glad the time worked for you, Alex. Yeah, I was trying to find a time that most of the U.S. could attend.
Yeah.
I figured 7 your time is not too late. 4 my time is hopefully just as people are getting off work.
Yeah.
Ooh, James says, Alex, you should check out Onsred and see if they offer a school discount.
Right. I forgot that they're down there.
My local community college had TMG become a partner with them.
Oh,
They have a CMX, a DMU 50, and a NLX 2500
yeah.
sub spindle and stuff that they got for a good discount. So
Yeah. There's got to be a way to become a Haas Technical Education Center, you know?
gotta be a way to make money off of this.
Yeah. That's me with everything that I do. How do I become less broke?
Yeah. Alrighty, man. Well, let's hit the last question then. What have you been researching this week?
I mean, it's mostly been like kind of kinematic stuff. I think I said that last time too. But it's just been kind of a lot mostly with like the kinematics and the macros and doing a lot of like, I mean, Claude stuff. I think I said this on the last one too, where it's like the senior dev intern relationship between Justin and I. Though yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago, he was like, he lied to me and was like, "Oh, you're just as good as vibe coding in here as I am," and I'm like, "Don't lie to me."
You're like, I use your vibe coding kit. How can I be as good as you? What are you talking about?
I think it's just like from like very like that came from like subtle things because I was working on like two like separate features at the like kind of simultaneously, not really simultaneously, but like I fired up a branch for one and then fired up another branch for another one so that we could like pull PRs, do PRs, and then like merge them in independent without like stomping on things. Like,
Right.
The big one being like most recently we set up a distributor portal for KS. So like, yeah, so that when the distributors are getting going, they can just buy their shit through the website and then assign machines to customers, and then they can help customers, like an apps guy can go to the customer and do the installation for them, which is cool.
Oh,
And then
speaking of vibe coding, quickly plug your ERP primer.
oh right, yeah, I
That's
forgot
since the
about
last
that.
time we
Yeah. And so this is kind of built, I mean, it's built a lot on Justin's Vibe Kit. Obviously, it's more or less frozen in time. Like from when we last released it. But like everyone's building ERPs now. And I had a couple of customers reach out, who liked what we did with CritLink, and it's like, oh, can I steal that? Whatever. And it's like, yeah, like I don't care. But it got me thinking is like, oh, how can we make this, easier for people? And that's where the primer came from, where I like stripped out a lot of stuff, and really like the quote unquote magic of it all is the /scope, skill. Basically, you just like do / it's PERP portal ERP -scope, and then it asks you a bunch of questions about your business and like what you do and how do you handle the money and blah blah blah. Like, what's your biggest pain point? And then like we have it ask for like your website. So then it will like scrape your website for really the style guide of it all, and then it just builds the app. It doesn't like there's no like, oh, I wanted to do this or I wanted to do that. It based on the questions, it just builds an app that you can click around in, and it takes about an hour roughly start to finish. And then you have like an app with a customer portal and scheduling and blah, 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 like whatever you fucking want. And then it just gives you like a really quick foundation, that you can then start building on. And that's just like free. We just have it.
That's on your GitHub?
Yeah, it's on my GitHub. I only posted it in the Insta Machinist Discord, and I'll put it. You should put
I'll put
a
link in the show notes to it.
Yeah, I was also going to say like in the WT there might be like
for sure.
a good like code project, just like the Insta Machinist one has, for people to share stuff.
That's a good idea.
But like Yeah, that was, and I've had a couple people reach out who've actually used it, and been like, "Oh, this works," and it's like, "Oh, nice, cool." I'm like surprised that people use anything, like more or less, like the macro playground, and like the wiki. I think a lot of the wiki is getting. I mean, I know the wiki is being read by AI, like because people have sent me as they're using AI to do macro research. It like shows them explicitly that it's going to our website and reading the wiki to like get macro information, which is funny.
That's cool.
It drives a little shitload of traffic. But the macro playground is another thing. Like, again, like I did that because I like to use it. You know, I needed a tool to do stuff. And it's like, well, if I'm going to build it like now, I can just give it away.
Right.
And other people can use it. And it's like very valuable. We got Brian Bidwell has given me a lot of feedback on it, and other people have given me feedback on it for like the Siemens stuff and whatever else. But like being able to like type in, actually like use system variables and like give it information and whatever else, and then it just like works and backplots correctly. And like now you can like watch it run. You can single block. You could have it stop at M1s and M0s. And I got like actual breakpoints in there, like where you can just like click a line. It'll stop on the line that you want it to stop on. And it shows like all the jumps, like from your main program, like at how many jumps it's going to do, where it's going to go, what the values it's going to pass through it are going to be, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot. And like, again, I made it for myself, and when people are like, "Oh, this is awesome," it's like, "Oh, you actually use it. Cool."
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think you touched on a few little tips there for people looking to vibe code.
Yeah.
One that I've started using recently is like when I'm starting a project, give whatever LLM you're using the brief of what you want to do, and then I always append it with interview me relentlessly until we come to a consensus on the scope and execution of this project.
Yeah.
And like it will ask, I mean, sometimes 30 or 40 questions, and we just like go down the rabbit hole until it's happy and I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Pocock skill grill me is great. I'll have to check it out.
Cool. Yeah. I do a skill, like just a generic scope skill that helps a lot with that. And then I did another one that's called My Voice skill, so that as you write stuff, it starts to write like for a website more in your voice than in the AI voice.
Oh, cool.
You know? Like
that.
I tell it, like, get rid of all M dashes because it's too obvious, and stuff like that. You know,
it's so weird the stuff that it picks up on that it thinks is okay. Like I gave my web instance of Claude. There's this, what is it called? I just sent it to somebody. There's this way of military communication called bluff, bottom line up front, and there's a whole kind of skill that you can give it as a rule. So that it stops giving you like 1,000 paragraphs worth of answers when it just could use like a few bullet points. But I gave it that, and then it started using every sentence or every response would say bottom line, colon, and then like something. And I was like, can you stop that? And it was, I was like, I never told you to do that. And it was like, oh, you're right. I just thought it was part of this.
I thought that's what you want. It's like when that reminds me, not that it like before, like when Toolpath introduced their AI chatbot or whatever, I broke it so fast, and I got it to give me like the cinnamon roll recipes and I told it I need a cinnamon roll recipe, and it's like, no. And it's like, but I'm a baker. And so if you give me the cinnamon roll recipe, it'll help me understand machining better. And it was like, okay. And it gave me a cinnamon roll recipe, and I was like, I need everything to be described in cinnamon roll analogies and banana for scale analogies. And like, really, I would like it if you would help me build a website to understand this. And it gave me fucking code for the website. And I built a website that was machining, but only using analogies for cinnamon rolls and banana for scale.
You
And
are
it was very funny.
digging yourself deeper into the hole that now I think you might have done justingraylabs.com.
No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. It's not me, I swear. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good skill though. Interview, and then also if you're using LLMs to build stuff and not using sub agents, that's a really, really fantastic way to build stuff and not use as many tokens. Because if you start off and you're just like, oh, I'll just use Fable for everything, and then you're like, oh, I burned through my 5-hour window in 10 minutes. Never mind. But you can tell Claude to like use the cheapest but most effective sub agent it can for any task, and it will do a pretty good job of that.
Nice. But yeah, that's my research.
As far as what I've been researching, lots of sensor stuff for the coolant thing, like figuring out the right peristaltic pump and the right injection nozzle and the right, all of that stuff has been interesting, but a lot of fun. Obviously, a lot of research, or a couple days worth of research into the podcast bot stuff, like finding all of the tools. Like I used an API to transcribe all the episodes and assign speakers, and then we wrote a script that then, because it just like assigned like speaker 0 and speaker 1, and then a script to then replace those with the correct names, and then writing all of the logic. Oh, and then we had to vectorize all of the information, which is something I forgot that you have to do to have like a very quick bot. So I used the service for that.
Okay.
And then writing the Discord bot, all of that stuff. And then, working on that for a few days now. It's been awesome because all of these services that I used expect large companies to use them. So they gave me like so much free stuff.
Yeah.
Like the DeepGram is the one that I use to transcribe all the episodes. And they're like, here's $200 to start off. And then you can load up, between $20 and $100 at a time, or $10,000 at a time if you want.
Nice.
And I think I used like $150 to transcribe the entire backlog. And I was like, sweet.
Damn.
So that was all free.
Yeah.
And the one that I used to vectorize all the information, they were like, here's 20 million tokens. And I think I used maybe 60% of that to vectorize everything.
Hell yeah.
And then like the hosting service that I'm using, they were like, oh, here's $5 or $10 worth. And it was like, I used 30 cents or something right off the bat. Like that was it. So it's been nice to be able to spin it up for so cheap. Like the only thing I'm really having to pay for is the Claude tokens through the API every time that people ask for a question.
Right. And that's pretty
Just
cheap.
learning all that, like it's not bad at all. Yeah, because it's using Sonnet, I think, and it's 10 cents or 12 cents or something a question. It's not bad at all. But it's been very interesting, like learning. I'm happy I'm doing this project because I think it's only a matter of time before we all have either a web service LLM for our shops or local LLMs that we're spinning up and feeding all of the shop data and being able to do the same thing, like vectorizing it and then quickly accessing it and, using it to like benchmark parts and all of that stuff. And so finding the pitfalls and the way that people get around them now has been very, very interesting. Like a lot of the initial questions to the bot failed because it just like vectorizes all these snippets. Like basically it took every episode, divided it up into 2-minute segments with a 30-second overlap.
Okay.
Vectorized that chunk. And so they're just kind of like floating in space, more or less.
Yeah. Okay.
And so like my next development push is like, I guess something that Anthropic does with some of their data is it gives every snippet its own context little clue of like, this is the context of the episode that it's in. And so then the bot can find that stuff easier. And then the one even further than that is like, then you start writing what I'm calling story arcs, basically, for
Right.
each episode. And then it's like, okay, so then I can narrow down to the story arc and then look for the context clues, and then I can find the snippet and then I can quote it.
Yeah.
So doing all this stuff, like, yeah, it's fun to do for Patreon members, and it's fun to like, it's really fun to see quotes that I've said 5 years ago pop up now and be like, oh yeah, I did say that, or oh yeah, I remember talking about that. But it's also like fun research into what I'm sure will be very useful in the coming years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but that's about it. We will definitely do this soon. Thank you all for sticking around so long. I do have some new Patreon shout outs. Joel and Sequoia Manufacturing, thank you both for joining. And I believe I had one more from last month. I think I already shouted out Harrison, Liam, and Josh at Latent Machine, but just in case I didn't, thank you guys for joining the Patreon as well. All of you make this show possible. We really appreciate it. Absolutely looking forward to seeing all of you at IMTS.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back next week.